welcome to another episode of DevOps with David. In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to perform a blue-green deployment for an application deployed on a virtual machine using Nginx as a reverse proxy. Let's dive right in. So I built an application, just like a basic point of sale application. There's the front end, and we have the front end and the back end deployed on VMs. And so let's just check whether the application works. We try to place an order, and boom, it works. So we'll try that again. We can see those changes being reflected on this graph here. So this is the application basically, and just pay attention. Here we have the blue backend turned on or active. Currently we have the blue backend deployed. So eventually we're going to see how we deploy or shift over to the green backend. But first, let's take a look at the infrastructure. So to set up this infrastructure, I use Terraform. I'm just going to pull up the Terraform config here. So basically, I created a module, a Terraform module for virtual machines. Okay, these ones on top are for my Kubernetes. This is not Kubernetes. So these are just virtual machines on my Proxmox host. So I have one for the traffic proxy, so that's Nginx, the app server, that's this app server, and also for Postgres, so that's Postgres here. So I provision those virtual machines using Terraform. Then I configure them using Ansible playbooks. So here this playbook basically handles, let's just check it out. So this playbook configures the proxy, that's Nginx, and this configures and deploys the applications to the app server, and this part configures the database. This is the infrastructure. User visits this website, it goes through a Cloudflare tunnel and gets to the Nginx virtual machine, and the Nginx virtual machine routes. The Nginx virtual machine itself is configured as a reverse proxy. So for us to get an understanding of what a reverse proxy is, let's see this illustration. Where is that? Okay. Yes. So there is a difference between proxy and reverse proxy. So for a forward proxy, we have multiple clients in front of the proxy visiting the internet through the proxy. So we don't know, the internet sees just a single IP coming out, but you don't really know who it's visiting it. It could be anybody behind that proxy. However, for a reverse proxy, it's the opposite. We have just one IP address standing in front of multiple backends. So when you visit that IP address, you don't know to what server your request is being routed. So in this case, Nginx serves as a reverse proxy because it stands in front of whatever version is running in the virtual machine. So we just visit the Nginx, the address. Yeah, we visit the website and it routes traffic based on the configuration. So let's quickly see the active configuration of the Nginx proxy. So first thing we're going to do is to SSH into the Nginx proxy, and then we're just going to quickly see the current configuration. Yes, so we'll just take a look at the top. So all these are for logs, you won't mind that. So we'll just take a look at the upstream. So this is where the magic happens. So currently we can see that we have two upstreams. We have the blue version of the application is running on port 8001, and the green version is running on port 8002. So let's quickly check that. So if I do curl localhost, oops, that's hosts 8001/health. Oops, that's not localhost. I'll just grab the IP. So we're just going to curl that IP /health, so that you see it's blue. And if you do for 8002, we can see it's green. So we're just going to go over. So currently, according to our Nginx configuration, we just checked that both versions are working, but you can see the Nginx is marking this green version as down. So we're going to run an Ansible playbook to switch this tagging and bring up the green one to switch over to the green version. And we'll go here. So we already have my Ansible playbook that does that. Everything here is public, so you can always take a look at that. So I'm just going to run this. So while that's running, we're just going to move over here. So when it finished running, you see these changes to green. We're just going to observe it and watch it change to green. It should change immediately the playbook. So that's it, it's green. So let's explain what just happened. So what happened here is, from the upstream we saw that the 8001, which is the blue application, was active and green was down. But after running that playbook, the blue is now down and the green is active. So instead of routing traffic to the blue application, it routes traffic to the green application. So let's confirm that by taking a look at this, and we're going to take a look at the Nginx configuration. So let's take a look at this now. So we can see what just happened. So the blue is now marked as down and the green is now active. So that's why we have our backend being active. Alternatively, if we don't want to do a blue-green deployment, we could also do a canary deployment where we define the weights of define weights. So based on the weights that we set here, according to what we see in this diagram, if we set it like something like this, 90% of the traffic coming in will go to the blue deployment and 10% will go to the green deployment. So in this way we can test. We could test the second version. For example, if we want to test the green version of the application, we could test that, just send 10% of incoming traffic to the green version of the application, and based on the feedback we get, we can decide whether we want to roll out to the green application completely or roll back to the blue application. For example, if there was an issue with the green application, because if you look up here, we are still on the green back end. So if there was an issue and we wanted to roll back, it's very simple. All we have to do is go and change this active version tag and put blue. So the playbook is configured to handle these deployments. All it needs to do is just to read that Nginx configuration and change the tag, and in a minute you see that this goes back to blue. So if you master these skills, I mean essentially you've mastered blue-green deployment. We just successfully rolled back to blue. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell for future helpful videos like this. See you on the next one.